When I was around 15, I used to sneak out of my house all the time. My parents were strict, especially on me because I was their daughter, and they worried about everything. If I came home even 5 minutes late, my mom would lecture me about girls not being safe at night. Of course, that only made me want to test the limits. Most nights it was harmless. I'd slip out through the basement window, ride my bike down to a gas station with friends, grab energy drinks, maybe paint each other's nails while laughing about high school drama, or smoke a cheap cigar one of the guys had stolen from his older brother. Just dumb teenager stuff. But there was this one night that still sits in my stomach like a brick. It was late summer. I remember because the crickets were so loud you could barely hear yourself think, and I had on these pink Converse I wasn't supposed to wear out because they got dirty too easy. My buddy bailed on me last minute, so I was on my own. I figured I'd just ride around, clear my head, maybe sit at the park for a while. The park sat on the edge of town, right next to the old rail yard. Creepy place. Half the warehouses were abandoned, tagged up with graffiti and broken windows. My mom always said it was dangerous for a girl alone, which of course made it feel like the most interesting spot to me. So there I was, pedaling through cracked pavement, ponytail swinging, the yellow glow of the streetlights barely cutting through the dark. I parked my bike behind a dumpster, climbed up this little ridge near the tracks, and just sat there, staring out at the empty buildings. Except, it wasn't empty. I noticed movement near one of the warehouses. Headlights cut off and a van door slid open. 3 men got out. One of them dragged something from the back. At first, I thought it was just a bag. Then I realized it was a person. I froze. They weren't yelling or anything, but I could hear muffled crying. Whoever it was had tape over their mouth. My heart was hammering so hard I swore they'd hear it from where I was. One guy pulled out what looked like a crowbar. The other 2 held the person down on the gravel. And then, I wish I could unsee this. The guy with the crowbar didn't hesitate. He swung, and the crying cut off almost instantly. I remember biting my hand to keep from making a sound, smearing the lip gloss I'd snuck on earlier. After a few minutes, they lifted the body, limp now, and tossed it back into the van like it was trash. One of them lit a cigarette, looked around, and for a split second, I thought his eyes landed on me. I stayed crouched, not even breathing, until they drove off. I don't know how long I stayed hidden. When I finally stumbled back to my bike, my legs felt like jelly. I didn't go home right away. I biked in the opposite direction first, just to make sure they weren't tailing me. When I got back, I crawled into bed and didn't sleep a second. The next morning, I tried to tell myself I imagined it. Maybe it was some messed up prank. But a week later, I overheard my dad reading the paper at breakfast. Some unidentified male had been found dead near the rail yard. No suspects. I wanted to say something. God, I wanted to. But what was I going to tell the cops? That a 15-year-old girl sneaking out past curfew just happened to witness a murder? That I hid and watched it happen? I never said a word. And now, over a decade later, I still see that night every time I close my eyes.